Hey guys, this is Mrs. Harbin and we are beginning our unit on factoring. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's start off by taking a look at some definitions. Hopefully these are things that you've heard before, but maybe it's been a while, so I want to make sure that these are fresh in your mind. Our first definition is a factor, and the lengthy definition of a factor is this. It is a number or quantity that when multiplied with another produces a given number or expression. It can also be defined as a number or expression that divides another number or expression evenly. So let's take a look at the number 6, for example. If we're using this first definition here, a number or quantity that when multiplied with another produces a given number expression. I want to know what numbers or quantities I can multiply to get the number 6. Well, you should know that 1 and 6, 1 times 6 is 6, and 2 times 3 is also 6. So when we're talking about the factors of 6, these are the numbers that can be multiplied to produce this quantity of 6. So the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. If we're using the second definition, a number or expression that divides another number or expression equally, if we look back at those same numbers, you see that 6 can be divided by 1, 2, 3, and 6, all evenly with no remainder. So both of those definitions work, and they give us the definition of factors. Now we've done some prime factorization already this year, so this should not be the first time you've heard this. I just want to keep it fresh in your mind. Also, as a quick reminder, a product is the result of multiplying. So a factor times a factor equals a product. Looking at our previous example with 6, we can say 2 times 3. Both of those are factors, and they give us the product of 6. Our next definition is quotient, and the quotient is the result of dividing. So thinking about that second definition of factors, that a factor is a number that divides evenly into another number. Our quotient is the result of dividing. So if we have 6 and we divide it by a divisor of 2, or one of our factors of 2, our quotient is 3. That's the result when we divide by one of those factors. Don't forget that sometimes you'll also see division problems, not like this, but represented as a fraction. So 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Remember that fraction bar just is another way to show division. So don't forget factor, product, and quotient. You'll hear me use those terms throughout our lesson today. Let's start with a quick lesson opener. Let's go ahead and list all 6 possible factors of 18. See if you can do that on your own, either mentally or on your notes. All right, hopefully you got 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. If we were to list these as multiplication facts, we would have 1 times 18, 2 times 9, and 3 times 6. All of those can be multiplied to equal 18, and 18 can be divided by all of these equally. All right, let's write 18 as a product of prime factors. Now this is what we did earlier this year. We did prime factorization. A lot of you chose to do the factor trees. So we did 18 was 2 times 9. And then you did prime factorization of 9. Some of you chose to do the other method where you started with 18 on the bottom. And you kind of built this tower up until you had all prime numbers. But let's keep going with 18 here using the factor tree. 9 is 3 times 3. And now 2, 3, and 3, those are all prime numbers. So our prime factorization of 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. Another way that we can write that is 2 times 3 squared, because 3 times 3 is just 3 squared. So that is our prime factorization. Let's list the different prime factors of the monomial 6x squared y. Well, this is no different from what we did before. We're going to write the prime factorization of this, the prime factorization of this, and the prime factorization of this. 6 is just 2 times 3. Both of those are prime numbers. X squared is x times x. We can't simplify that any further. And y is just y. So our prime factorization is 2, 3, x, and y. Those are the different factors. If we were to write it with a multiplication sentence, the prime factorization, we would write it like that. Let's find the product of the factors 2x and 4x plus 3. Remember, product means to multiply, so we're going to write this using our parentheses here. 2x times 4x plus 3. We have a monomial, one term, times a binomial, two terms. And so the way that we're going to multiply here is distribution. So we're going to take 2x times 4x. We multiply our coefficients, 2 times 4. And then we multiply our variables, x times x. So 2x times 4x gives us 8x squared. And then we take 2x times 3. So multiply our coefficients, 2 times positive 3. And then multiply our variables, x. There's no other x, so it just stays by itself, x to the first power. And we get 8x squared plus 6x. Okay, let's go ahead and list the common factors now of 8x squared and 6x. To do this, we want to write the prime factorization of each. So 8x squared and 6x. The prime factorization of 8x squared is 2 times 2 times 2 times x. And the prime factorization of 6x is 2 times 3 times x. Now let's look at what they have in common. They both have a 2 in common, and they both have an x in common. So our common factors are 2 and x. Factoring, which is the unit that we're beginning now, is the name that we give to the process of determining individual factors of a product. We'll start by finding the greatest common factors between two terms. So let's start with two number terms. Let's find the greatest common factor of 108 and 72. To do that, the first thing that we're going to do is list the prime factors. So if we did a prime factorization of 108, it's already done here for you, but you can do that using a factor tree. We get 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. Then we're going to list the prime factors of 72. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. We're going to circle what they have in common. So they have a 2, a 2, a 3, a 3, and a common, all in common. And our greatest common factor then is those 4 factors multiplied. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Our greatest common factor that they have in common is 36. What about the greatest common factor of these two terms, 15x and 42x squared y? Just like before when we had just number terms, we're going to start by listing the prime factorization. So the prime factorization of 15x is 3 times 5 times x. And the prime factorization of 42x squared y is 2 times 3 times 7 times x times y. We'll then circle what they have in common. They have a 3 in common and an x in common. So our greatest common factor is those two factors multiplied, 3 times x, which is 3x. This is important when we begin the process of factoring more than one term, when we begin to factor binomials and polynomials, and we have to find the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor of a polynomial is the product of all factors shared by every term in the polynomial. So if you go back to our previous example, it is a product of the shared factors. They shared 3 and x. It's a product of those shared factors, shared by every term. Here, we were just looking at 2 terms. Sometimes we'll be looking for the greatest common factor between 3, 4, or more terms. 2 numbers or terms that don't have a greatest common factor other than 1 are considered relatively prime, and we say that they're not factorable. If all you can factor is a 1, if that's all they have in common, they are relatively prime. Let's take a look at this. We want to factor 8x squared minus 16. We have 2 terms here, 8x squared and 16. So the first thing that we're going to do is list the prime factorization of each so that we can find the greatest common factor. The prime factorization of 8x squared is 2 times 2 times 2 times x, and the prime factorization of 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Let's see what they have in common. We can circle the things they have in common. They have a 2, a 2, a 2. Those 3 things in common, nothing else. Remember, our greatest common factor is the product of the common factors. So 2 times 2 times 2, those are their common factors. Product means multiply, so when we multiply those together, our greatest common factor is 8. Both of these terms can be divided evenly by 8. So to factor, that's what we're going to do. We're going to divide both of these terms by 8. When we divide or factor 8 out of 8x squared. If you take 8x squared and divide it by 8, what you have remaining is x squared. And when you take 16 and divide it by 8, what you're left with is 2. Factoring is like the reverse distributive property. Before we were multiplying things to get rid of parentheses, now we're putting this parentheses back in. We're factoring or dividing each term by the greatest common factor. So our first term can be rewritten as 8 times x squared, and our second term can be rewritten as 8 times 2. We want to have that common factor there. Once we have factored out our greatest common factor, we can rewrite that with our greatest common factor in parentheses and the two quotients, the two things that were remaining after we divided by 8, the two quotients in its own set of parentheses, x squared minus 2. Let's take a look at the actual listed steps here that I've been explaining in factoring monomials from a polynomial. First, find the GCF, the greatest common factor of all terms in the polynomial. Now, you might be able to do this mentally, but some of you might have to do the prime factorization and list all the prime factors to find the greatest common factor. After you found the greatest common factor, either mentally or by listing prime factorization, then you're going to divide the greatest common factor out of each term. Basically, you're applying the distributive property in reverse. That's what we did on the previous slide. We factored out the 8, or we divided each term by the 8. And in parentheses, we wrote what was the quotient, what was left over, and when we divided by 8. We'll then write our final factorization as the GCF, the greatest common factor, times the sum of the quotients. So you saw that when we rewrote it as x times x squared minus 2. So we write the factorization as the GCF times the sum of the quotients, x squared minus 2. We can check our solution by multiplying. So if we were to redistribute that, we would get back to our original answer of 8x squared minus 16. All right, let's try an example here. Let's factor 42a cubed plus 14a. The first thing that we want to do is find our greatest common factor. For some of you, that means you're going to list the prime factorization and circle the common factors. Others of you might be able to do that mentally. No matter how you do it, we're going to find that our greatest common factor is 2 times 7 times a. Remember, our greatest common factor is a product of the shared factors. So 2 times 7 times a is 14a. So that was step 1. Step 2 is to divide each term by our common factors. So we're going to divide 42a cubed by 14a and 14a by 14a. When we do that, we get 42a cubed divided by 14a gives us a quotient, or what's left over, 3a squared. And 14a divided by our greatest common factor, 14a, gives us 1. Okay, if you want to write that as this before you divide, kind of an intermediary step, 14a plus 14a divided by 14a. That might be helpful to some of you if you need to see that set up as a division problem before you write your factorization. Once we factor it out, our next step is to rewrite that with our greatest common factor on the outside of the parentheses and the two quotients on the inside of the parentheses. So we have 14a on the outside, 3a squared plus, comes down, 1. We can check our answer by multiplying that back out, distributing to see if we get to our original answer, and we will. Our final example is 36x squared y plus 9xy cubed minus 27xy. We're going to do this quickly. You can pause the video if you need to try it on your own and then check your work. But our greatest common factor is 9xy. We're then going to divide each term by 9xy, which gives us 9xy times 4x, 9xy times y squared, and negative 9xy times 3. We'll rewrite it as our factor on the outside, 9xy, and the quotients on the inside. Notice that we do keep the original signs that were here, plus and minus, in that same order. Here's one final example to try on your own. Pause the video and check your work. Since these terms are